Hey, it's Sam with the full moon in Virgo forecast. The moon is going to be full in Virgo on March 16th at about 1 o'clock Eastern time. Now, the full moon in Virgo is going to be in a nakshatra called Uttar Falguni. Uttar Falguni is ruled by a god called Aryaman, who is the god of contracts and official business. It's where Leo becomes Virgo, that nakshatra, and it, it's where the sort of, work of the, where the power of the kingdom, which is Leo, filters down into a lot of tasks and a lot of work. And in order to do that, we need to delegate all these details and tasks. So this is how Leo becomes Virgo, and that nakshatra of Uttar Falguni, has a lot to do with that. It's where, for instance, the previous nakshatra, Purva Falguni, is related to courtship and romance, and Uttar Falguni is related to marriage, which, marriage is like the work and the commitment to like a family and the sort of effort to build and organize and manage that sort of relationship, if you will, similar to the way our kingdom, which is Leo, creates a lot of work, and all those tasks need to be done, which has to do with Virgo. So the full moon in Virgo is actually, it's opposite the sun in Pisces. So every full moon has to be understood in, by contrast to the sun position, because it's a halfway point in a cycle. Now, it's interesting because the full moons have been preceding the new moons, because the last new moon was actually Aquarius. And so then, but it's still a full moon in Pisces. So the sun is in Pisces on this full moon. And so the sun in Pisces is very much related to relaxing into a sort of celestial, metaphysical kind of understanding with the cosmos. Pisces is ruled by Jupiter, and it's that reflective feminine quality of Jupiter where we expand internally to the heart, or through the heart, toward something much bigger than just the limitations of life on Earth. And this, in a less abstract way, has to do with things like creativity and teaching and learning. Again, those things are all abstractions because, the concept of growth and teaching and learning and wisdom are very abstract. For instance, money is very tangible. Pleasure and happiness is very tangible. Pleasure and happiness is related to Venus. Money is related to mainly Saturn. Jupiter is related to meaning, purpose, hope. They're very abstract concepts. So this sun in Pisces is beginning that cycle of connecting with the metaphysical and feeling that creative urge. Opposite that, on this full moon, is the moon in Virgo, which means then we have the psychological perception of the opposite. So there's an opposition between the sun and the moon. Sun is in metaphysical Pisces, which says, I'm connected to all. I'm a reflection of celestial wisdom and consciousness. Or, I'm sorry, I'm an expression of that, because the sun is expression. And the moon says, but I have to reflect it in a Virgo way, which is all the details, the practical situations in life that need to be organized and managed. And this is true. Every opposition, whether it's a sign opposition or house opposition, contains within it the seed principle of both. So we can't really connect with that metaphysical beyond unless we do the practical work of Virgo type stuff, which is all the routines and rituals and diet and environment need to be taken care of if we're going to actually manifest the Pisces principle, which is not to just be inspired and feel it, because that's the same thing that makes us then say, okay, well, I want to feel it now with drugs. I want to feel it now with getting drunk. Because that's really what we do when we get drunk or do drugs or something, is we're trying to dissolve the pressure of identity, dissolve the pressure of individuality and the ego, and instead surrender and relax into something more expansive. And we're all aware of that on some level, but if we're going to actually be a master of that process and find mastery in the surrender process, then we need to integrate it with the practical effort, the skill, the intelligence, the discrimination of Virgo, which says, surrendering into the great unknown through drugs and alcohol is not a permanent solution. It's an escape. Virgo is like, there's no escape. Let's organize and manage all of the details and our environment, and then that will provide a strong support structure. And the same is true with the Virgo principle, which is about managing all the details in the world and forgetting the bigger picture. So anywhere there's a split, it's along this Pisces-Virgo axis. So the sun in Pisces is giving that empowerment through metaphysical understanding and growth. The full moon in Virgo on March 16th is about managing and grounding that in the field of consciousness, because it's the moon that's full. And the moon is the perceptive mind that reflects back the sun's energy. So that field of consciousness of the moon is in Virgo, which has that nature of, structure, boundaries, and things that contain the metaphysical waters of Pisces. So again, Uttar Falguni, ruled by the god Aryaman, the god of contracts, official business. Few other things of note here. We have Saturn and Mars retrograde. Mars is about to go back into Virgo, actually, at the end of March. I think it's March 26th is the exact day he goes back into Virgo. So both Mars and Saturn are retrograde in Libra, so we're working a lot on our interactions with others, romantic partnerships, or just the quality of life where we compromise with other adults, and compromise and yield, and also honor our own wishes and work on that sort of equality equation. Saturn and Mars are both retrograde in Libra, and Rahu is also there. So 3 malefics are there. We can see rising we can see this globally. I've spoken about it quite a bit with, for instance, the Ukrainian situation, other revolutions like in Venezuela, and other domestic situations we see in US and in other countries. There's a lot of, as well as personal reckoning right now with how we treat each other and things like that, are big themes that are up right now. We'll see that continuing in the midst of course, trying to unite the metaphysical and the creative and the abstract with the practical and the rational. We have Venus in Capricorn, which is bringing a lot of tangible, tangible creativity and growth, tangible expressions of beauty and form. We're wanting it to be practical and real, and also slow and hesitant. We're not as we're not as willing to just kind of follow any kind of idea willy-nilly. Venus was in Sagittarius for a while, and it maybe gave us some false hope around relationships, or maybe polarized it one way or the other. Now it's in rational Capricorn, where we're facing the truth of our, romantic situations or situations with others in general, especially with all those planets in Libra. The status of Venus is pretty important. Venus and Saturn are also exchanging with each other, though. They're in each other's signs, and they're going to be in each other's signs for quite a while, because after Venus goes through Capricorn, it'll then go through Aquarius, which again is also ruled by Saturn. So now is a good time to get a handle on your romantic life, your romantic relationships with Venus and Saturn exchanging. A good time to really face the cold, hard facts of your interactions with others. And Jupiter is moving forward again, he's aspecting those planets in Libra as well. So, full moon in Virgo, I hope it's treating you well. If you want to know how this is going to affect your sign, then you can join my member site, only 1 penny, and I will talk about all 12 of the astrology signs, including yours, and how this full moon in Virgo will affect your sign. So, thanks a lot. Have a good one.